Share it out. Hi peeps. Evening. Someone let me know if the sound is okay. And I'm just gonna turn you up. Can someone post it in my Discord as well? My nose is so sore. Can someone post it in my Discord? That'd be great. Let's put live chat on for all you chatettes out there that can't stop talking. And obviously ladettes. Real, I used to think he was playing a character, but no way. Yes, that is today's conundrum. Real or fake? Is Coach Eli playing a character, or is that just who he is? Thank you to Bodacious. Welcome back. I am still sick. Do not let this appearance fool you. I am still sick as a dog. I am still sick. But thank you for the super chat to welcome me back to the land of the living. I need to get some fresh air, so I've come outside to get some air because I need some. But thank you to Bodacious. Let me just put my phone on charge because I can see this being an interesting stream. So, lads and ladettes of the jury, as I have called us for quite a while, we are the judge, jury, and executioner of Coach Eli. We decide if, when, and how he exists on YouTube, whether he likes to admit it or not. We are the defining purpose, reason to how he exists on this platform. He exists technically because we let him. Let's not beat around that bush. He's as sick as his blow-up doll taking an orgasm. True as true can be. If you could put this in my Discord, Bodacious, that would be amazeballs. So today we are discussing Coach Eli's character. Is it real or is it fake? Is it possible he can be that dumb? Or does he enjoy being this dumb? Is it an act? We're going to discuss this evening. Is it an act? Or is this the real Eli? Now, I know he probably doesn't watch my channel anymore because he's got like so many other people to harass now that he's like full-time fucking victim. Life is tough as a man when he's really good at anything and doesn't have a calling. Plus, he was bullied throughout school. Now, the bullying part. Now, let's take a look at the bullying part, okay? Let's dissect this bullying. Now, if he was genuinely bullied, you know, I don't wish bullying on anyone, okay? I was bullied throughout high school, okay? I'm getting some air, Tammy, because apparently if I go outside, the air might make me feel better. And I actually have to do some work tomorrow now. I'm actually covering another store tomorrow, so wish me luck. We are looking at Coach Eli as a real person or a performer. We are looking at, is his character real or fake? Can he be this dumb? Or is this at the minute something he's grown into and is now an art form? Like he just cannot stop being this dumb. You know, he's played the character of the fake life coach for so easy. It would be hard for him to play any other character at this point. Imagine it being a play. Hey, Tammy, Man Hero Life Motivation. I got that mama paid for it and have no balls. I got graveyard tonight. Ooh. Well, we're not going to the graveyard. We're actually going to walk a trail this evening because I'm dying inside and out. But apparently the fresh air It's going to cure me. So we're going to try it. I'm not really opposed to bullying. It can make you aware of your shortcomings. We'll get to that in a sec. You know, he was stuffed into lockers and given swirlies. Yes, but the question would be, is just because you were bullied, say he was maliciously bullied, okay, taunted, bullied, harassed in high school and school, does that justify bullying someone in later life? He's a 50-year-old man this year, bullying what he wants to call a millennials, entitled people, lower forms of life. Does it justify him bullying someone else now, many years later, to make up for the fact that when he was bullied as a child, he didn't stick up for himself? Or he didn't, you know... does it justify the bullying now that he does of other people? Should he be allowed to bully other people now just because he was bullied as a child? It doesn't justify beating an ass later in life. No. I cannot see. I got a tattoo expert and I got all weird out if any man puts his name on his body. Ooh, no. Never get your loved one tattooed on you. Unless it's a child. You want to have your date of birth for your child or something. Never get a spouse's name. Children are forever. Spouses come and go. Because of bullying, this is the way to get revenge. He knows online that there'll be few consequences. The problem with that is that if you look at Eli, the people he targets, we'll use Hannibal and Pedro as examples. These two guys are hard-working men. They're upstanding, hard-working men with a big community following who are just trying to make it in the world and make a buck. That's all they're trying to do. They didn't come on here for the mamby-pamby drama. It was Eli that actually brought drama to their channel. Yes, they had their gig economy drama, but what community doesn't have drama? The problem is when you try and integrate yourself in a drama-fueled world that you know little to nothing about. He barraged in there, going at Pedro, going at Hannibal, claiming he knew the gig economy after 4 months. I know people on YouTube that I've known for 5 or 6 years. And I can't say that I could walk into their community, snap my fingers, and everyone would come running to me. And I've known people on here so much longer than Eli. I got communities that I was a part of for years. You know, people like Gemma, I've known for 6, 7 years. If I snap my fingers, it doesn't mean she goes where I go. It doesn't work like that. You can't just walk into a community and Shanghai everyone's fucking fans. If you're going to Shanghai their fans, do it the decent way. Go in there with something decent. Offer them something. Not money. Do not buy your followers. That does not end well. We're talking offer them something. Like offering them your life coach advice. Holy shit, do you remember that? Do you remember the fact that you're a life coach? You're not a drama mule. You're not a gig economy guru. You are, ipso facto, a life coach. And a terrible one at that. Man in his 50s living with mama. See, that's the thing. I guess it depends on what you call bullying. I don't call us bullying him. The thing is, however, what he's done to Pedro. Yeah, the bullying to Pedro and his girlfriend, I just cannot in any shape or form justify it. As I said on my, I did a stream earlier. This morning, I did a video. I cannot justify bullying someone on YouTube who is not part of a channel and can come on live stream and defend themselves. You are bullying somebody who cannot defend themselves. If you're going to bully someone who can defend themselves. Pedro can quite happily fend for himself. Pedro and Eli are on opposite sides of the spectrum. Yeah. Eli doesn't... If Eli had gone in that community and he could have offered them something of use, then I could understand him going there, you know, being part of the community, wanting to join in. But you don't offer them anything. What did you offer that community that Pedro, Hannibal, and all these other people didn't already have? The thing is, you've got to remember, when you go to a new community and you're a new person, and you walk in there guns blazing, going, I know everything, come to me, you actually have to know everything. It goes with the territory. If I'm going to come into Tammy's chat and go, Tammy knows nothing, I know everything, you actually have to know everything. You have to have answers to everybody's fucking questions. And your whole, when you do an interview with somebody, no comment bullshit, it's not flying in this community. It never has done. How can grow? How can grown people act like children and go to bully defenseless adults? I do not believe that if you were bullied in high school, I was bullied from the minute I was in high school to the minute I left, and it took me 5 years before I lost my shit and actually beat the living shit out of the girl. It took me 5 years. I never said a word to her the entire 5 years. When she was bullying me, I would sit in class and I ignored her and I ignored her. I never retaliated. I never said anything back. When they used to follow me around the school, I used to talk to my mates and I used to blank the bitch. And I did this for 5 years. We were in my last, I think it was 3 months of high school. She turned around and she said something about my dad. And I got out of the chair and I looked at her and I punched her in the face. I took her down to the floor and I tore the motherfucking blonde hairs of her pretty little head. And I wasn't suspended for it because I had been taunted for 5 fucking years and had finally lost my shit. Now that is the kind of bullying I don't condone. I shouldn't have done it. I admit it, I was a bad person, but I took 5 years of it. But Eli's thing now is that because he was wronged when he was a child, he must bully every male or every person that thinks he's different, that thinks he's strange, that thinks his quirks are weird. I don't know where or when he sat down as a child and said to himself, my life goal is to be a life coach. Where did he get that from? I'd love to know the story, if Eli is watching. And if you are, hi Eli. How did you become a life coach? What triggered you to sit there when you were at Costco, in supposed management, mind you? What made you sit there and go, I'm going to life coach? What made you change your profession? Did you see a money-making scheme? Did you see a Ponzi pyramid or whatever it's called, where you could just get people to open their wallets, kind of like Scientology, and they would play into this narrative that anything is possible as long as you have Eli's coaching? Is that what you were spinning to people back then in your networking? Anything is possible, but it'll cost you? At what price did you sell your soul to become a life coach? Do you have to sell yourself, your dignity, your pride to become a life coach? Because that's probably why there aren't many life coaches on YouTube that do it the way you do. Because they have morals, they have codes, they have ethics. What exactly made you a life coach? What made you think you had the ability to be a life coach? Someone obviously turned around to you one day and you said, I want to be a life coach. And they were like, you know what? That's the best advice I've ever heard. I doubt it, though. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. I don't think anyone in retail should be a life coach. Well, I actually work in retail. Which has I actually work in retail and I actually manage the store. I'm actually managing stores a couple of times a week at the minute. Life coaches should be educated. Now, the thing is, with being a life coach, you don't actually need to have a qualification. In this day and age, life coaching, you need a YouTube channel. and apparently no soul. Apparently no soul goes hand in hand with being a life coach. So you can't be a life coach if you have a sheltered life with very little life experiences. Yeah. He's not married, so he couldn't give marital advice. He doesn't have kids, so he can't give you advice on how to raise your children, education, school, prospects, stuff like that. He lives with his family, so I don't know how he could talk about finances, where his finances are literally dictated by living with his mother. A successful career, 15 years as a supposed, in brackets, successful entrepreneur. You've worked at Costco and now you have made, what was it, under £10,000 in 6 years of YouTube. But apparently he has finances that keep him going, i.e. Bank of Mum. I'm not saying there is anything wrong with retail. I just don't think they make good for life coaches. Well, I give some really good advice. I hate to say silicone. I do. If you ask people on YouTube, people like Gemma, people like Tammy, I do really give good advice because I've lived. If you knew the stuff that I had been through, you would wonder how I'm still standing. I have had the most rough upbringing, and that's not a sub story. I genuinely have. If you'd have heard stuff that my life has been through, you would know that the advice I give comes from not only a good place, but a place of learning. If you live in what I call the high society, and that you haven't had to... someone's been playing with a corn again. The younger days of being a child and carefree. Ooh. Do you want to see the trail, or do you want to see my beautiful face? Either way, I don't mind. Long time since I've been on camera, to be honest. Although exceptionally rare, unfortunately there are some bullies that cannot be reasoned with. They will only stop with an overwhelming response. If I had a life coach, I want them to be more successful than me. Well, I don't know if I'd need a life coach that had been more successful than me, but I needed a life coach that could... I need a life coach that could sympathize with my position, sympathize with the trials and tribulations that my life has brought me to this point. Not necessarily be sympathetic, but be empathetic to the situation that has brought me to this part of my life. Now, you don't have to have a sob story to go to a life coach. You don't have to have a sob story to go to a therapist. Sometimes in day-to-day life, and here's the psychology bit, it's just nice to sometimes talk to somebody impartial. You know, if you've got a problem, you usually go to your friends, your family. They're always going to have biased views on what's best for you because they want the best for you. So they're going to push you to go to that new job. They're going to push you to be with this man because they think he's wonderful. But what if you went to an impartial person who laid out the facts of, yes, he's a great man, but, or this job will be good for you, but is it something you really want? And the middle ground for someone like that is they see both sides. Your family see one side, you see the other, and you're always going to butt heads. A third party, irrelevant to the conversation, like a therapist, a counselor, can always help you. But to do that, they have to have some empathy. Maybe they can relate to your situation. How does Silver Spoon Eli relate to the situation? He's not had a hard upbringing. He's not had to strive for money. He supposedly lives in a good area, has a good family, and has money. You tell me how that relates to somebody who's living on the breadline, who can't afford to put food on the table, who struggles to get up every morning because they're depressed. How can he possibly even relate to that kind of person? He is a man-child who led with a silver spoon. Yeah, Silver Spoon Eli. People, Sorry, your thing jumped. People like Jesse in school, I do not regret tackling him. I mean, I don't regret punching the girl, to be fair. You don't have to be a life coach to tell 100% people about life experiences. Eli has no real life. Dawn wants Pedro and Dion too. Not cotton candy? Can someone take the Russia comment out? Can someone take the Russian comment out? Not cotton candy. Can you take the Russian thing out, please? Talk softly and carry a big stick. I need to talk to you about car insurance. Have you ever thought of turning to Jesus? Thank you, Bodacious. Yeah, if you want to come into my chat, at least behave. Do give it a big thumbs up, though. And if you want to donate to the channel, I was not born with a silver spoon. I am financially poor. I am a breadline, third party, third citizen bum, as Eli would call me, / clown, / trying to be a YouTuber, because, you know, I'm not very good at my day job, so this is my side gig. So if you want to donate to my side gig and help out a struggling middle class citizen or lower class citizen, I'm not sure where I fit. Eli, you're gonna have to tell me which part am I again? Was it lower class or middle class? I may have misquoted Teddy Roosevelt. A true life quote does not tell you what to do. A life coach doesn't tell you what to do. They talk you through your decisions. Yes, exactly. There are always two ways of looking at a situation: the good, the bad, but there is a middle ground. Sometimes there doesn't have to be a yes or a no answer. If, you know, bottom of the barrel, Jesus Christ, Gordo. According to Eli, yeah, I am scum of the earth, degenerate, third class citizen. So if you'd like to donate to this bum, please consider donating to me, because I have to financially live as a bum because I'm not a life coach. Always down to donate when the topic is cut. Eli, thank you to Not But Silicone for the US $4.99. Ooh. Look at that, Eli. I can be a bum and earn money. Who knew? If you're wondering why I sound terrible, I am still officially sick. But I was told if I got out into the air, it would cure me. So this is what we are trying. We are walking on the trail. Neither is Eli, but I'm not judging. US is getting rid of the middle class. As for me, I'm still continuing to look for a job, but I won't give up till someone hires me. Good for you, California. So I do have a job, and I wouldn't say I like my job. It pays. But I am now key holder. I technically manage the place twice a week now. I'm actually running 2 stores this week. Where are you? I am actually on a trail. I am on a disused railway line in Norfolk, UK. I'm in a disused railway line. I'm on the disused railway line from Norwich to King's Lynn that runs through, and used to before Mr. Beecham took it out in the, I can't remember what year he took this line out, but he took the line out because it wasn't producing enough money. Because transport on the road and cars became a big thing. 60s. Yes, Mr. Beecham was the 6th. I know it was Mr. Beecham, but I don't know the date that this track was taken out. Life is shades of grey. Yeah, I mean, who wants to be just one type of beige? That's what I relate Eli to. Eli's beige. He's very plain. One way, one colour, one purpose, one goal. Never differs from it. Never wants to take a different route. Never wants to try anything else. He is the beige of YouTube. Well, I am a working bum who takes care of a child alone with zero help from anyone in the government, and I do it solo. That's my girl, California. I am a single person and I do work incredibly hard. Like I said, I'm running 2 stores right now. And out of this week alone, I am working 8 out of 10 days. Yeah. 8 out of 10 days I'm working this coming week. And you might notice that they're not 10 days in a week. My week is carrying on into next week where I'm continuing to work. So I am doing 8 out of 10 days. I respect anyone that works a real job. Yeah. Fine with anything as long as I don't hate. God is strong. Eli's free ride to Lazy Town will eventually end. Yeah, he cannot, theoretically. I mean, he could be a bum forever. I mean, he has bum mentality where he doesn't seem to think that he'll have to work at any point. Like, even when his mum dies, he somehow believes he's going to be financially stable for life. Work that one out. If someone can let me know if the picture is fine and the sound, because no one has. The light, I can't really do much about. I mean, look at that trail, look. Spooky dooky that is, look. Woo. Luckily, the sun hasn't quite set yet, so I do have little bits that are not overcast. No, it's just that it's a new phone, that's all. If you are prior to my Discord and that, you will know I broke my phone and that this is a new one. This is my new phone. And that I've been trying different things with it, different filters, different sound quality, trying to find the middle ground of what works, Gordo. So I did a stream when I first got my phone to see how it worked. Eli and Dawn don't get out of bed until the afternoon. No, because she's too drunk. We wish you the best, Ford. Yeah, she's too drunk. If I was drunk, I don't think I would get out of bed. I've got to save money to upgrade my phone. Well, I broke mine and had no alternative. I smashed the screen. I literally obliterated it. Some people have seen my screen. It doesn't look good. So I had to buy a new phone ASAP. So if anyone can let me know how good it looks. Eli is too lazy. Now, back in the day, obviously Eli did work. He worked at Costco. He apparently was management to some degree. And then he decided he'd had enough of being told what to do. He'd had enough of being ordered around. And somehow at that point, the switch went that he could be a life coach, be his own boss, and practically do nothing for the rest of his life. I don't know how he believes that. A proper life coach would do morning streams. Oh, like the morning rooster. Who remembers the morning rooster? Who remembers the morning rooster from his Genuine Network Association channel, where he used to do the morning rooster song? Anyone remember morning rooster? I'm sure Gordo does. Eli's mum will probably leave him something. I mean, he's not the beneficiary of her will and stuff. Actually, his brother is, and Eli's aunt. So he's going to get a portion, but I don't think it's going to be enough just to sustain living off for the rest of his life. I mean, he could live another, God forbid, 50 years, 30 years, 40 years. Not, yeah. His late night streams, I don't know why he does them. If you were going to go live and you wanted people to tune in, what kind of time would you do it? Would you do it like I do, on a whim, which I practically do, but there is a but with me. I do my live streams on a whim because I have a job. I work. I can only live stream certain times a day, certain days, certain hours, because I work. He literally, supposedly, is the most busiest person on God's green earth, but he doesn't have a job. If you see a plane, you can film it. If I see anything of interest, Pig Bomb, I will film that shit in a heartbeat for you. Consider buying the phone used on eBay to save money. I bought my last 2. Yeah, We were talking about phones the other day, weren't we, Bodacious? I paid 120 English pounds for my Honor X6A phone, and it works fucking amazingly. I am so excited. Also, I do have an update. The Raven has decided to join the modern world. And aside from being on Twitter and Instagram and the YouTube and Snapchat and Facebook, Raven is now on TikTok. I have decided to bite the bullet, and my first TikTok video today got over 800 views. Just saying. I've loaded, I think, 5 videos today, and my first video on TikTok had 800 views. So go me. I'm sorry, it's getting a little bit dark at the minute. I just buy the latest and greatest iPhone. Put a case and screen protector on it. Yes, I do have a screen protector. I do not have a case as of yet. I am waiting to order one when I get paid. The phone was enough. But it does have a screen protector though. Yes, I am on TikTok now. So if you want to know my TikTok, I will link it in the description of this video once it goes back on a replay. And you can see my latest TikTok video, which got over 7 or 800 views within the first 30 minutes of it being up. It shot up. I was actually quite impressed with myself. There won't be a live stream tomorrow because I am now apparently working where I live. I'm covering the store here. I am assisting the deputy manager tomorrow to learn the store here before I manage the store on Sunday of next week. So this is like a trial run at this store, so I can look at the stock, work my way round, and then next Sunday I will be in charge, and then I'm also working at that store Tuesday week as well, and I'm managing that day too. So you don't have to be a life coach to make money, but does it help? Once I get money, I'll upgrade my phone with a screen protector. If I'd have had a screen protector, whether my LCD would have exploded like it did, I don't know. It had a case on it though, but unfortunately it was a magnetic case, and the magnet had worn over the 5 years of having the phone. I really should have got a new case. I was actually thinking of getting a new case. Rookie move. And I didn't get one, and then it broke. So kudos to me, huh? And it hit right on the corner, and it just went, just obliterated it. And I came home, I ordered a phone, and by the next morning I went and picked a new one up. So I mean, I think I did pretty well in that respect. Question is whether to do the long bit of the trail or the short bit. Should we go further? Should we go further? What does everyone think? Because there is a trail bit that keeps going. What should we think? The light is going, but I don't think it'll be like an extra 15 minutes. I think we can do it. If not, we can walk up onto the main road. How is everything so well manicured in the UK? I've never seen dead branches anywhere. Well, I mean, we do technically care how the place looks. I mean, I wouldn't say it's manicured. I'd say there are pieces of the UK that are like untamed. But these trails technically grow naturally themselves, because obviously there was a train line that originally went through here, and I'm going to show you the bridge at the other end. Maybe I'm just romancing the UK. Americans often don't do that accent as well. Oh, thank you. Well, us common folk here in the UK, you know, we barely get, you know, barely can string a sentence together. We're so common. We're so common. I'm stuck in a tree. We're so common, we can barely string a sentence together, dear boy. Forest management is good in other countries. Helps limits fires. Yes, Spider is a child, not an adult. Oh, Spider was hidden. Oh dear. Let's play nice in the chat. Oh. Do you want to see where I'm going? Look at this. Oh my god. It's only a very short bit. And then I can get to the bit I want. Look at this. You call this open? It's not bloody open. But it's alright because I have my shoes and I'm in my joggers today. We're in jogger season here. I think I've just got stung in the leg. That's fine. Raven's made of tougher stuff than Eli. Look at this. You see Eli going in a place like this? He's probably adverse to bugs, rain, and everything. Look at that. Oh, look at that mountain of a jungle. Look at that. It's a jungle out here. Unfortunately, I got no Bodacious. Come back. Oh, we love you, Bodacious. Thumbs up the stream. And if you wish to donate because I'm a bum, feel free to, like Bodacious and Silicone. Donate to the bum stream. No, the lady in the UK who has a problem with my channel, but I can't say her name because we don't want to give her notoriety that I've actually watched her channel or spoken about her, which you actually do, Eli, all the time. There is a special shout out I'd like to give. If you saw my video earlier, I gave a shout out to Pedro and Hannibal for sticking it to Eli, but I also gave a shout out to Donnie. Now, a lot of people know the Donnie Shaw show, known him for years, known him for, must be 5-6 years, since hashtag I'm a creator days. And back then, he was an upstanding guy, and he's always tried to give people, I want to say, the benefit of... Look at that. You see that over there? Look. That's an owl, I think. Is that an owl flying? I don't know. That's a pretty cool bird, whatever it is. Donnie Shaw is now known as Angel Man. Thank you to Silicone. Ow, for the $4.99 chat. Yeah, so let us bums are happy. Get a job. Yes, us bums are happy. What's wrong with you? So I gave a shout out to Donnie in my earlier video, giving him kudos for the fact that he stood up to Eli when Eli said that everyone was a racist and that we'd all done it. I can tell you, hand on heart, I have never been racist to anyone, because I do not believe that that kind of behavior should be tolerated under any circumstances, no matter what the situation. If you have to stoop to a racial slur, then you have lost all ethics and morals at that point. You have reached bottom of the mill argument that you then have to go racial or homophobic to prove a point. And if you have to stoop to that level, then you've gone too far to prove a point that you're not going to prove, because you're just making yourself look worse. So here is where the train line goes. You wouldn't believe the train line. You can still see where people walk, that the train line would have gone through here. I know it doesn't look like it. I mean, it looks like a giant hole. And it is, because there, in that giant hole, is a bridge. Looks like I'm walking into like Death Valley or something. I don't think it's fair to compare an American to European when it comes to race. They said I've never once said a racial slur to anyone. I can honestly, hand on my heart, say I've never said a racial slur to anyone. I do not believe that if you get to the point where you have to give a racial slur to someone, you are proving your point at any stage. See? there is the bridge. Now, I'm not going to go too much further because it is totally overgrown. But in the winter, that'll all die off and you'll see the bridge in full and ipso facto in all its glory. I did come down here the other day and I show it to you if you saw that. Good for you. I need to do my shoelace up. We're going to need to put you down a sec. So hang on to your britches, people. We're going to have to put you down a minute. Enjoy the darkness for a sec because I have to tie my shoe up. Okay. Raven is back. Are we still here? Are we still around? Sorry. So we're going to go this way back. I'm going to walk a slightly different route so I don't have to walk through the brambles. Racial slurs, no. Yeah, if you have to get to a point where you're like, oh, it's just because you're a... no. If you then have to, you know, go at the fact that they're a lesbian, they're gay, they're trans, they're black, they're white, you know, they're a woman... You've gone to a point where your argument suddenly doesn't have an argument because you've crossed a proverbial, in my eyes, a proverbial line, an invisible line, but a line nonetheless. And it's a line, me, personally, I would not cross. Now, have I said some horrible things on YouTube? Excuse me? Yes. Absolutely. I have called Eli all manner of names. But have I used racial terms? No. There are quite a few racial terms I could use on Eli. You know, I think saying that he's got a silver spoon up his ass is probably the most derogatory if I've ever been to him. Is that crossing a line? I don't think so. He said much worse to other people. And not only said much worse, but actually condoned using that term as well. He's actually condoned using that term. So it's kind of irrelevant at that point. If you can show racial slurs at people and then go, well, you shouldn't be using that, you know, because I did it once and now I think it's not usable. It's not really a fair argument there, Eli, is it? Let's be honest. He's a 50-year-old man. He's a mad case. He was born rich, or he was with a woman who was rich. Yeah, personally, I don't involve myself when it comes to things like racially appropriate behavior. Every place is different. If you want to take America to the UK, there are terms that coloured people use to white people and white people use to coloured people. There are terms that we use for Chinese or Oriental or European. None of them are right. Why can't we just be all decent human beings? But when you get to a point where you honestly believe that your opinion is so valid that after stating your opinion numerous times, and it is kind of like banging your head against a brick wall sometimes with some people, you then are like, well, it's because you're white, or it's because you're black and you don't understand. They don't necessarily don't understand. Maybe you're just not portraying what you're trying to portray in a way they can understand. Because everybody relates differently to everything, whether it's money, values, ethics. I'm telling you, the people in the UK are definitely brought up different to people in America. Look at the pretty flower. Look at that, look. Isn't that cute? Look. Look at this, look. Look. I know Anna would appreciate these if she was here, look. Look at that, look. Absolutely beautiful. Getting off topic with the beautiful flowers. Back to the scheduled content. Yeah, you guys are different over there. If I heard the one from Pakistani, I wouldn't even think there was anything wrong with it. It's just an observation. Yes, they're on my stream. I walked on the streets at night, especially in the dangerous zones, just like Eli didn't know how the balls to do what people do. Yeah, terms get thrown around. They do. Let's not beat around the bush. Terms get thrown around all the time. There are channels on YouTube that, as much as I hate the terms, there are terms in the UK we do use. I'm gonna admit it. There are terms in the UK that we use, not necessarily deliberately, but we do use them. I'll give you one example and one example only. What do you call it when you go to buy a Chinese? See if you can guess what we call it in the UK. If you said, I'm going to have a Chinese tonight, what's the term that people use in the UK for I'm going to have a Chinese? See if you can work it out. A Chinese as in a takeaway, not a Chinaman. If you're going to have a Chinese, what would you call it? I'm sorry, I'm coming up this really rough bit because I don't want to walk through the rough on the other way around because it's getting too dark. But there's a term we use. I hate using it, and I don't like Chinese food, but that's besides the point. There is a term that we do use in the UK for going for a Chinese. There are terms we use to go into the local corner shop, which are a little bit on the nose. If I made videos, I think I would often do things that I know Eli wouldn't have the balls to do. Yeah, to trigger him. Yeah, the things that Eli cannot do because he doesn't have the, I wouldn't say the balls. I mean, he's never been out of his bubble. Eli lives in this little California bubble where he's never left the state. I don't even think he's left the state. He claims to have, but I think he spent 50 years in that state and hasn't left. I'd be very surprised if his mum took him out of there without needing a little blankie and a dummy. I am cool with some people on the streets. I mean, I'm not adverse to people. I'm just, what's the word? I don't, I'm more wary of people. I've had some issues through my life with people, and I would say I'm more cautious, more wary. Maybe I talk to somebody a bit more to get to know them, whether it's in my private life, my personal life, or on YouTube, before you really put some substance into like the relationship or the conversation. Obviously it's going to be a bit dark now. Skydiving and rock climbing. Yeah, just fucking bungee jump. Why not? Just bungee jump. You're going to get bits at this point where it's going to be light and it's going to be dark. Unfortunately, the light is going. I'm also going to go to Tesco's as well because I need to get some snacks. Because the only thing I've had the last couple of days is soup. And we're being sick. I'm fucking hungry. How are you doing? I'm dying on the inside. I'm on a trail. You probably can't see it now because it is pitch black, but I am on a disused railway line, doing a live stream. Oh, we were when it was light. I actually have to time myself now and actually leave to do the walk earlier because we're losing the light quicker. But I've been sick the last week and hadn't really noticed how quickly the light goes nowadays. What's the time? I mean, it's only 20 to 8 and it's technically dark. So the other week I was coming home at like 10 in the evening and it was light. So, you know, I've missed a part in between because when I come home from work, I generally just go home, have something to eat and usually crawl in bed because I technically don't get home very early from work. But there's the sky. See that? It is up there. Let's see if putting you on me makes it any better. Oh, look, you can see me because my phone's got like a half built-in camera light. But I do need to get a ring light that I can put on my phone so I can still film in the dusk. Or I need to leave earlier. Yes, I'm from the UK. Yes, I'm from sunny, well, it was sunny today. Sunny UK. You know, interesting news. Where I live, in Kings Lynn, there is a Sainsbury's that about an hour ago was on fire. I was meant to have my eye test there. There's a Specsavers next to Sainsbury's, and I meant to have my eye test on Wednesday there. But Katie was in Kings Lynn earlier and said that when she drove past, the Sainsbury's was actually on fire. So I'm going to assume that I need to rearrange my appointment. I'm going to check in the news tomorrow, but the last thing I saw was a picture that Katie sent me with Sainsbury's just ablaze. The side of it had caught fire, so that's not good. I kind of needed my appointment for my glasses, but what I might do is just transfer my appointment to Durham and see if they can just do it there on a different day, because obviously it's going to be a while if Sainsbury's was on fire, that, you know, smoke and all that, because of the Specsavers being built onto the side of Sainsbury's. I don't know exactly where the fire was. I do have a picture of the fire. Katie was in a car at the traffic lights when she looked over at Sainsbury's and realised that the side of it was on fire. And there were like police and ambulance and fire brigades and all manner of stuff was there. So that's interesting. Yeah, Sainsbury's was on fire. And I have a picture of it, amazingly. It doesn't really go to expensive restaurants. Oh, I don't know. He did recently, I think it was a £30 burger. Who's got money like that? I know I haven't. I definitely haven't got that kind of money. You want to see where I'm walking now? There. You see that? This is where I am walking. Oh, yeah. We are walking in the dark, people. I'm not a big fan of walking in the dark, but we're walking in the dark because I have to get this to Tesco's and it's back this way. So we're just going to be cautious of our surroundings. There are little bits that I could come out of at any point. And it is, theoretically, it's not dark in here. It does look it, but as you can see, there are patches of light. The man grew to be rich neighborhood. See, my concern is that Eli was the rich kid and his family had an estate. What was the reason he was bullied? Anyone ever thought of that? Eli was bullied, okay? That's what he claims. He claims he was bullied. Or we claim he was bullied. Why was he bullied if he was the rich kid of the area? Was he bullied because he was rich? Was he bullied because he boasted he is rich? Why was he bullied? Was it because he had money? Because his family had wealth? Is that off-putting to people in that area? Because from what I gather, his family's always had money to a point. They didn't have money when they first came there, obviously, because his dad made up the business of real estate. So why was he bullied? Was he bullied because he had money? Was he bullied because he didn't have money at that point? Was he bullied because he was just an unlikable character? Which is why he turns on this persona now, instead of being what he should be, which is his genuine self. This life coach character that he plays, or he's playing, doesn't really, hey Layla, doesn't really fit the narrative of a so-called bullied person. You know, he said he was bullied, his family had cash, Eli has no cash. Dawn is flat broke. So was he bullied as a child because he had money, or for the lack of money, until his family created an estate? And then by the time they created an estate, it was already too late. He was already being bullied and targeted. But he also claims, and here's another claim of Coach Eli, when he was in college or his sophomore year, he was popular. Why was Layla deleted? What Layla? This stream is for adults and for children. Who's Layla? Layla? He was bullied because of his words and actions. It has nothing to do with money. No, I had thought that maybe his character was why he was bullied. He just isn't a likable person. That is also true. I mean, I've never gravitated towards Eli in any sense of the matter. I live in a city. It's not a rich city, but it's a humble community. I would say I live in a humble place. It's a mixed generation place. We have the elderly, we have the young, we have the millennials, you know, the bane of society. There's Gen Xers, Gen Zers, there's Zennials, and whatever ever bloody term they want to use. We've got all ages where I live, like right from like on death's door in care homes to young toddlers in pushchairs. Or if you want to take my grandchild, newborns. We're an all-age town. We have everything from bowls, knitting clubs to, you know, the scouts and the army cadets. We got all ranges in this place. But that's another thing I have a hard time believing. You have a hard time believing what? In addition to being a manager, I do not believe he finished college. Oh, who is it this time? Oh, can someone get rid of Mr. Douchebag? Jesus Christ. How? Everyone has a mix of different ages and egos. Yeah. I mean, it is. I mean, on YouTube, it is also nice to have a community, if you want to call it, of different people, different ages. I want to say different races, beliefs. Quite a few of my followers have a belief in Jesus and God and are religious, and I don't in any shape or form, and that's perfectly fine. Some people are in the UK, some are in America. Some of the ethnic minorities, some aren't, and we all get along, which is what makes YouTube, that you can have diversity. So if Eli's like trolling me with like really sad accounts, I mean, Jesus, come on, Eli, get a life. Or is this one of your Playboy minions? Because Pedro and Hannibal and Donnie, you know, they got more class in their pinky toes than Eli will ever have. I've got more class in my pinky toe than Eli will ever have. But we are walking on a proverbial dark trail. Spooky dooky, huh? I'm not great when it comes to the dark. I had hoped to have walked a bit quicker. But there is light, as you can see, on parts of the trail. It's not entirely dark. Some of it is. There are lights in bits. This is the proverbial bridge. Again, this is the bridge. So we are, we're effectively nearly halfway home. The kids have been playing in the cornfield again. Maturity lacking, maybe. Do you remember playing in the cornfield when you were younger? I think I talked about this on the stream the other day to Reg Paul. Playing in the cornfields, hiding in the hay and the straw and all that. Being a right menace to society. Really pissing off the neighbour, the farmer that I used to live next door. Playing hide and seek in his cornfield. Not impressed. Amount of times we were told off for that. Naughty, naughty. I was a little rebel. Did I not tell you? But it is. Ooh, it is quite dark. Look at that. Ooh. I have to be careful because I'm trying to walk and look at the phone at the same time. Silicone, my neighbour's work. You just echoed. Where are you standing under the bridge? Yeah. Standing right under the bridge, like, woo woo. You know, woo woo, choo choo. Yeah, it echoed because I was under the bridge. I'm sorry. I should have warned you guys that it would echo. But thank you for the unmature people that are coming in. If you'd like to donate to me and be unmature, you can donate and ask a question even though you're banned. But thank you to Silicone and Bodacious for the donation. Silicone, who's donated not once but twice. Thank you to Silicone and Bodacious, who pops in, donates, and then unfortunately works and has to go most of the time, but does listen in from behind the scenes most of the time while they're in the lab. My closest neighbours are half a mile away. No, my neighbours are right on my doorstep. Literally right on my doorstep. But it is beautiful here during the day. I've done many a stream in the light down here. Recently I did a live stream not so long ago. I did the trail live stream to McDonald's, which I have put to members only, I think. So if you want to become a member and see my members only stuff, or you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter or TikTok, which I'm now a part of, where my first video today got 700 to 800 views. If anyone can make it, Eli, I can. I already get paid for YouTube. I nearly get paid for Facebook Reels. I'm trying to get my Instagram up, and next is to get paid for being on TikTok. So, a woman of many talents, Eli. Many talents. Like I said, I already get paid for YouTube. I'm not far off of getting paid for Facebook Reels. I think I'm 100 people off of getting paid for Facebook Reels. So there's that. I'm a bit further off on Instagram because I don't use it as much. And the TikTok thing, it's generally for fun. But, you know, if I make something of it, I make something of it. I'm more of a YouTube girl. You know, where would Eli be if he didn't have us to troll him? That's a question you do have to ask yourself. Would Eli have a career, a channel, or a purpose on YouTube if it wasn't for us trolling him and bullying him? Would he have a purpose? Because the only person he seems to talk about is us. So I have to only surmise that the only reason he's still existing on YouTube is despite us. Most people would have just given up. He's like a sewer rat. He just won't go. I love the country, not the city, no offense. In this country, I want to be far away from it all. If I lived in the UK, I would actually want to live near the middle of a small countryside village. I used to live in a really small place called Morley St Bottoff. Yeah, Morley St Bottoff was a tiny little village. Had about 1,000 people, I think, at one point. And it was a very small little village. It had little to nothing. It had a pub, a school, a shop, and a youth club that used to run in the next town over. And that was literally it. That's apart from a playground as well, that's literally all it had to offer. Had about 1,000 people, but it was beautiful. There was trails I could walk on. I used to walk the dog. I used to go cycling. I used to get into trouble and go in the wood yard and play hide and seek where we weren't allowed to go. But I get into trouble quite a lot. Did I tell you? But oh, this fresh air. So we are. You probably see we're off the trail. We're walking back into civilization now. There's another trail I want to take you on, but I'd have to take you on it during the day. It's a bit of a longer trail. I think it's about 3 miles, but I'd have to walk it during the day because it's more dangerous, because it does go right into the sticks. And I did the walk the other day. GLM was on the stream. Red Bull Jack was there, and a few others. Sorry, we lost signal. Oh yeah, GLM, she's the one that said Eli lived in a crap area. Never made sense to her why he dragged about her. Raven, that really cool that you have trails right next to your neighborhood like that. Yeah, it's difficult. California is. There you are again, you cut for it. Yeah, I lost signal because we're going past the big scaffoldy place and it affects the signal just a small amount. It kind of like cuts it out a little bit. So just refresh. I can't help it. It's because of all the scaffolding. That's all the metal. Creates like a deterrent to my stream. But as we started the stream, we're going to finish the stream with the same question. I've got just a little bit of trail left to go back to Tesco's. Is Eli's character that he plays on YouTube real or fake? Do we see the proverbial real bona fide Eli? Is this the real Eli that we see with our 2 eyes on live stream? Or is he playing the fake life coach character where he believes he can be a success, where he believes whatever he says? Or is he just playing up to the audience because he knows this kind of goofy, dumbass character has an interest to the modern day man, because they're like looking at him going, what the f is wrong with him? You know? But Silicon, I'm a woman, not single, but dating. I'm single. I've been single for 4 years. I love being single. I'm a single Pringle in a big proverbial can of this world. But yes, I have tons of scaffolding places around my abode which make noise from around 6 in the morning. Gotta love the boys, haven't you? Thing is, this place is actually quite beautiful. I don't know if you can see it. It's actually quite nice, but it's a scaffolding yard. It's probably the most tidiest, upkept scaffold yard I've ever seen. And the men aren't too bad either. What was that? Sorry. I mean the work they do is upstanding. You didn't hear that from me. Unless you want to be homeschooled, you really have much of a choice. My eldest would like to be homeschooled for the next 8 months while he finishes his last year of high school. I don't know if he's had Raven. We put that to rest. Eli is not acting. As mind-boggling as it is, he really is who he portrays to be. I believe that is to be the unfortunate prognosis. Eli is actually that dumb. It is. It has come to my attention that Eli just is that dumb. I know, it's a hard pill to swallow that he could be genuinely, wholeheartedly that dumb. but it seems to be true. And as much he doesn't want, as much as I'd like to see that he isn't that thick and that this was just a whole charade for 6 years and the dorky hat and the stupidity that he exudes was just for show, it doesn't seem like it. It generally seems like he's an idiot of the proverbial highest. And this non-act cannot be faked. He is genuinely that fucking stupid. And that in itself, we're going to skip through here. Wow. Oh yeah. Woohoo. We are in the light now. We are in the light. Look at this. We're at Tesco's. Look. We're at Tesco's. Yes, we're going to go get some shopping. Or I'm going to go get some shopping. I don't know about you. But, yeah. So, we're just gonna carry on walking, and then we're gonna go to Tesco's. But my phone is amazingly still on charge, luckily. My battery's not doing too well. I haven't really adjusted to my new phone yet, like how long its battery lasts. We're just gonna stand around here just for a sec. But thumbs it up. If you want to donate, remember PayPal, Super Chat, Super Thanks. Become a member. Join the Raven crew. Get unsolicited, unedited, behind the scenes bullshit. Remember Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. Join my Discord if you haven't already. That's where I put all my unlisted links for Coach Eli streams, which I'm now going to start doing more of, because Eli needs to be trolled, and trolled hard is the only way he'll learn. So I'm going to do more unlisted Eli. If you want to follow me on TikTok, I'll put the link in there. If you want to thumbs it up and leave me a comment about this whole topic on the video, that would be great. Share it out, promote it. Raven, there are a lot of haunted places. There are a lot of haunted places which we could do a stream on. Share comments down below of things you want to see in the future, content, all of that. I'm going to go to Tesco's because I am fucking starving. Give it a big thumbs up. I might do a stream tomorrow night if I can. I'll see how I feel after work. I didn't really plan on streaming tonight because I'm sick as a dog, but I did want to reaffirm Eli's behavior, that it is not tolerated. I'd love to see you visit a haunted house or a hospital. That sounds cool. Once again, shout outs to Pedro and Hannibal. If you see this, you guys are amazing. Donnie, please get away from Eli. Do yourself a favor. Leave the Eli fantasy world and come back to us. And I will see you all very soon. Take care and thanks for watching. Have a good night. Bye, guys.